Good morning, guys, and welcome back to TTSMC Trader. How are you all? I hope everyone is cool. Marquis, Tamimi, good morning, both of you. Vin, good morning. I hope you guys can hear me. Everything is good. Let me know first if there is any technical error or if you guys can hear me everything. Okay, I'm just waiting still. In the meantime, this is the calendar. We have CPI on Tuesday. I didn't do any kind of weekly analysis this week actually. Jamil, bom dia. Muito bem, obrigado, senhor. Tudo bem? You guys can hear me, right? Tuesday we have CPI. That means tomorrow we have CPI. Today is the lowest probable day to trade, and then Fed Chairman Rush testifies. What is that type of news? I don't know what is that news, but we have like CPI tomorrow and 10 a.m. we have some kind of red folder news. Then PPI 8:30, 10 also that testifies. So Wednesday also 10 a.m. we have red folder news. Thursday, Friday is good. So tomorrow and the day after tomorrow is difficult to trade before 10 a.m. Okay. I can hear you. Thank you so much, brother, for confirming. Today we have CPI tomorrow. So what should we do today? Except to watching the market, we have nothing to do. And this is the daily chart. I really don't know what is happening because I didn't do any kind of weekly analysis. Here we have kind of weekly candle. Do I need to look for the TGIF? I don't think so because this is not a beautiful candle. So it has a long wick, a very small body. So I don't need to look for this TGIF this week. Okay. And from the daily chart, I have this beautiful daily bullish parallel gap. Not a good sign actually because market didn't leave any sort of gap open. So it's still this is the daily gap. So I'm gonna mark it if it really would love to reverse from this daily gap. I just marked this one because when I was a retail trader, I would love to look for this type of bull flag, bear flag, or something like that. So there is a beautiful bull flag. So far, this market is building. So people actually watch like this way. If it break, then work it as a support. Market keep going higher. Or if it break like this way, then market trade here and then keep falling like this way. So this is how they actually watch this. And if you ask me about the ICT concepts, then ICT concepts, according to ICT himself, this actually work like this way. Boom. Or if it break lower, then it boom like this way. So accumulation, manipulation, like accumulation, manipulation, expansion. Accumulation, manipulation, expansion. Something like that. So this is absolutely contradictory to each other. Like if we when this look for buy, we look for sell. When they look for sell, we look for buy. Okay. Let me see what is happening in 4 hour chart. I have beautiful buy side there. So I'm gonna mark that buy side because this is really beautiful buy side liquidity. I have this beautiful buy side liquidity around that area. Do I have any sell side liquidity? I have some sell side liquidity as well. So I'm gonna mark that sell side as well. This low and that low, they are the relatively equal lows. So this is the sell side liquidity. I'm going to remove this one because I was just watching it for fun. Okay, so I have buy side here, I have sell side there. What do I have from hourly chart? So from the hourly chart, same kind of scenario. I have sell side, I have buy side. Market is trading the daily bullish fair value gap over here. So this is the daily bullish gap. Market is has been already traded that. Below the sell side liquidity, I have this beautiful hourly bullish gap that is working as a breakaway gap, but it should have been traded actually. It should have been traded. However, I'm gonna keep it over there, that hourly gap. And I have a huge opening gap, new week opening gap. So I'm gonna mark that opening gap, new week opening gap. This is the closing, this is the opening, that is the opening gap. So I'm going to change the color, mark it bit deeper, plus sign. Okay. That is the new week opening gap. And what do I have from 15-minute chart? From 15-minute chart, we have obvious liquidity around that area. Okay, so what do I have over here? This low has taken over there, but this has been traded a beautiful bullish parabolic gap from 50-minute chart. So I'm gonna mark that 50-minute bullish gap, and here actually open, fall, trade the new week opening gap, and then break. Disaster. In a very hard way, it has been broken. Below this, I have this clean sell side liquidity over here. So I'm gonna mark this sell side liquidity. This sell side liquidity is really so suspicious. What should I do? Tomorrow we have CPI, so please be careful. Market can engineer the liquidity for CPI and then clear the CPI. I mean, clear that liquidity by the CPI. So what is this market going to do? Buy side or sell side? Is more important for the market? That is the main question. $1 million question. What is this market is going to do? Why this is so confusing? For last few weeks the price is really so much confusing. I mean, I think it is not because of the lower time frame, it's because of the higher time frame, like the daily chart. It seems like clean consolidation, right? Like fall, come here and then simply clean consolidation. I think this is because of the daily chart. Market is not moving anywhere after that big run. It is just consolidating. So how long we have to wait for this consolidation? No idea. Okay, so from the 1 minute chart, what do I have from the 1 minute chart? Okay, from the 1 minute chart, I have this buy side liquidity around that area. This is good. So I have the buy side liquidity. I'm also going to mark this one as well because market doesn't need to clean that highest one. This is also important, that buy side liquidity. And do I have sell side liquidity? Yes, I have sell side liquidity as well. I still have 5 minutes left. The market didn't open yet. So I have this sell side liquidity, clean sell side liquidity around that area, which is inside the daily bullish fair value gap. What else do I have? Nothing else. So I have just this sell side liquidity over here from the 1 minute chart. That was the Friday trade. I think market fall, market structure after this Trump tweet, I guess. Whatever. I don't remember. It was Trump tweet, I guess, around 10:32. The Twitter was fully full of this chaos. Everyone saying, "Oh, what the hell is this?" However, then market fall here came around that area. That was the 50% of that week, week 50%, and also the dealing range 618 level, if I'm not mistaken. Then market structure shift, fair value gap. Market never gave me the entry over here. I have this beautiful buy side liquidity here, that liquidity around that area, and then come back again, trade this gap over here, build the order block, trade the order block, keep going higher perfectly. Rest of the PM session, I mean, sorry, the PM session was sideways. Market didn't move anywhere on Friday. That's why I just logged my account. If you guys remember, like Friday, if you try to mitigate your loss, you will take more losses. Like, look at this whole PM session, simply sideways. There was no movement, nothing over there. So either it is like one-sided run without retracement or something like that, or it will be like this type of sideways candle. And this is really disaster to trade this type of market around Friday. That's why if you ever get stopped out around the morning session, did something wrong, don't try to mitigate your loss around the PM session. That is really dangerous. So right now market is around that area. I have this beautiful buy side liquidities. I have this sell side liquidity and I have this extreme sell side liquidity. Market is right now trading the daily bullish gap. What do I have over here? What else do I have? Okay. So market fall cleared all of these lows, a beautiful market structure shift. This is the fair value gap. So this is going to be the order block. If the market close out this candle, I'll just mark it from the bold line over here, something like that. Okay. So if the market close above this line, I think it will work as a support and market will go toward this gap over here from the hourly, I mean, sorry, from the 15-minute chart. If it violate this low, there is a high probability it will fall for this sell side liquidity. So that is all I can see over here right now. In the meantime, I'm gonna mark this internal 50-minute bullish gap because this is prior to 9:30 bullish fair value gap. Just before 9:30, this gap is holding the market. and we'll see if it really would love to hold the market and send it higher or not. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it like this way. I'm gonna remove it from my 1 minute chart and gonna keep this 50 minute. That's cool. Would love to open this one. Okay, guys. Actually, before the open, I have still 2 minutes left. I wanna talk about this a bit over here. This is the current now the offer from Apex. We have 90% discount everything. Okay. Uh, $59 is the activation fees, which is really so cheap. I mean, for Apex account, this is really so cheap. Uh, I mean, this is the best area. Okay, so if you have any plan to get some accounts, I think this is the best time to get those accounts because this offer is very rare. Like 25K, 50K, 100K, 150K, the intraday price action actually, the activation fees is gonna be $59. You're also able to buy the bundles actually. So 5 pack bundles. You can buy like 5 accounts all together. I think it will cost $17, something like that. The 50K account is gonna cost $17. I think something like that. Okay, I'm not sure about that. But if Tamim is over here, please let me know. I think the account is gonna cost $17, 50K account. So overall, it's the really so cheap right now. The Apex. Make sure you have used the code T2T. Uh, that is the code actually. 90% off everything. Okay, that's cool. Uh, yeah, $19 for 50K. 25K is $17. 19. Okay, $19. Let it go, man. Overall, like $19, you will cost. It will cost you for the 50K account, but still that is a really so good deal, I think. So market has already started. I'm gonna mark the regular trading or opening gap. Regular trading or opening gap. So that is the regular trading or opening gap. And from 1 minute chart, market just started. Guys, just remember, okay, if you have any funded account today, don't try to touch it. Okay. Tomorrow we have CPI, so it's really low probability to trade the funded account today. Instead of that, try to trade the eval if you have any. By the way, this order block is not valid anymore because the low has been taken again. So if you have any eval account, and please go for the Apex. Okay, it's gonna cost $19 only. Just buy 5 to 10 accounts, then try to pass out of 10. Try to pass 7 account. I think that's a good deal. So market has fallen and take this low, build another sell side liquidity. This low and that low relatively equal lows, and then it started to consolidate. I mean, let's see what is going to happen next. 90% discount for everything. That is really awesome. I'm also watching the hourly chart. I'm also watching the what to say? I mean the 15-minute chart. Yes, what is ES is doing? ES is extremely bullish. YM is bullish, except this NQ. All of them are bullish. So I mean NQ is bearish so far, but other market is extremely bullish. We'll see. Okay. I think the volatility is also so much. Let me see the volatility. Yeah, 85 handle is 1 minute candle. 930 candle, I'm gonna skip it. But let's see if it can come down a bit. Still, the internal sell side liquidity is not been taken over here. And instead of that, build another sell side liquidity. This low, that low, relatively equal lows. I have this buy side liquidity here. I have this buy side liquidity there. And I have this extreme buy side liquidity around that area. So what the market really wanted to do, I think it will go higher and take this buy side liquidity at first because it fall and take this low over here. Even though it left this, maybe it will go higher. I mean, it will go higher and take this buy side. I'm not going to take any trade right now. Okay, just watching it. But I think it will go higher at first and take this buy side liquidity. Maybe we'll see. What is your bias, guys? Win bearish SMT with yes. Bearish SMT with ES. I'm not seeing any bearish SMT. Oh, okay. Yeah. Bearish SMT. Absolutely, brother. Yeah, there is a bearish SMT with ES. Mhm. So does it want to go for the sell side? Not I'm rush to take a trade, just watching it. 25K $17. Okay, so 25K account is gone. Guys, please don't go for the 25K. It's a request, okay? It's kind of waste of money. Your buffer will be very small. It's really so tough to get the payout from the 25K account. So just for $2, I don't think so it's a good idea. I have to open this. Again, the other markets are extremely bullish and NQ is seems like a bit bearish so far. What is your bias, by the way? Reacting from weekly week 50%. Okay, so it is reacting from the weekly week 50%. That's a good observation. I didn't reach to the 50%. Or you are talking about that one. Let me see. Okay, you are talking about that one. So this week 50% is reacting. So it has fallen and it has taken that internal sell side liquidity, which is over here. That internal sell side has been cleared. I'm gonna keep this gap over here. Remember, other markets are extremely bullish, like ES and NYM. Both of them are bullish. This guy is bit overzealous and it's bit bearish. But I think if it doesn't come back again to this gap, it is going to give me a buying opportunity from here for this buy side liquidity because now this is one sided. 1 minute liquidity has been cleared. I don't need to feel like very confusing. Is it bearish? Is it bullish? Because market has already cleared the sell side liquidity, internal sell side liquidity. And this low didn't leave any sort of sell side liquidity, right? Except if you use it as an obvious liquidity. Of course, this is an obvious liquidity. So if it really would love to take this liquidity one more time, that is also good. But now this is one sided and market, I think it will go for this buy side liquidity right now. So any kind of buying opportunity right now is my high probable buy. So I'll look for the market right now to see if it provide me any sort of buying opportunity. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark this bearish gap. Does it have any value? Right now, I don't have any value. So I will see if this gap can be worked as a inverse gap. So something like this. Trade, take this low, closed. I'm going to take the buy here for this buy side liquidity. If it work like that way. Otherwise, this gap right now, I have no value over there. If it keep falling, what I'm going to do? Nothing. I have the opening gap and market even didn't trade the lower quadrant of the opening gap. 50% is over here. So I think it's good to wait for a buying opportunity. Buy should be more reliable rather than taking sell. That gap is a first presented fair value gap and it's important for the rest of the week. That is also true. That is also the first presented fair value gap. So yeah, this is also important for the rest of the week. So you guys can keep it and extend it to your right. Just double click, go to the style and see here that box extend right. If you click on that, it will be extended. Okay. And then just lock it, like click here, lock it like this way. It will be over there. And you can always write down on the here that first presented fair value gap. You can write it down like that way as well. There is a volume imbalance on both sides of that first presented fair value gap. It is also true. I'm just going to keep this small gap because this is not an even the small gap. I think this kind of 26 handle gap. This is also called the suspension block, right? Uh, all I am not going to like is like if it fall and build another sell side liquidity. For example, with this low, it is going to build another sell side liquidity, then it started to inverse. That's gonna be again low probability to me because market will leave the sell side liquidity. That is confusing for me. Otherwise, if it just keep clearing the sell side liquidity and then finally start to run higher, I think I'll go for that buy. It has traded the daily fair value gap 50%. See here, this is the 50% of the daily bullish fair value gap. Can it inverse right now? I mean, reverse right now from here. Okay, 40 handle. I think it's usable. I mean, I will be able to use the trade if I find an opportunity. I think I'll be able to take the buy actually because 40 handle, I'll be able to put my stop loss around 30, 35 handle, something like that. I think I'll get an opportunity. I mean, if I get an opportunity, I'll be able to take that buy. But first, let's see if it really would love to go higher. Okay, that is an idea that maybe market will go higher. So all I need to see if there is a model. So after first fixing the bias where the market can go, okay, depending on which reason is actually giving you the confidence to that market is going higher. I'm seeing that market is so far trading the daily bullish fair value gap. Also, it has taken an internal liquidity from 1 minute chart. Yeah, it is right now. Right now, it is trading the 50 minute gap. I don't know where the market will close. If it close below this 50 minute gap, then I will miss the hard time frame point of interest. In that type of scenario, I have to wait for another candle to close above this gap. Then all the rules. Otherwise, everything is cool. So, for example, if it fall here and then start to run from there, this is the old 50 minute gap. That is also cool. Okay, that is also cool. Mm, yeah, that is also cool. Let's see. However, if any of you would love to take the sale, I think you can go for it. I mean, if you see any opportunity, of course, go for it. I'm just not interested to take any sort of sell, at least not now. Later, we'll see. I'm gonna mark the quadrant level of the 15-minute wick. There is a 15-minute candle wick that has cleared all the swing lows and trade a 50-minute bullish gap. So I'm interested to see the quadrant level of that week. So it has tapped to the lower quadrant of that 15-minute week, also traded the 50-minute last gap high, consequent crossment rejection, top rejection is expecting. Let's see. It has built another bearish gap. I'm also going to mark that bearish gap so that I'll be able to use the inverse gap logic to take the buy. For example, same thing like here. If we trade there, take this low one more time, close here. I'm gonna take the buy around that area, maybe until the 50% of this first presented fair value gap. Otherwise, I have no way to use the order block logic. That is an order block which is aligned with the old order block, which is over here, consecutive candles. That is a valid order block, but as you can see, this candle is too big. I mean, yeah, 60 handle candle. I won't be able to take the buy from the order block. It will keep reaping the market. I'm not going to take any trade here. That is that old low, which is over here. 15 minute, I mean, sorry, the ES and YM is still green. They're not, yeah, they're not going higher, but still they're green, not red. Bit suspicious market. Yes, that's correct. Alizali daily fair value gap not traded before. No, this is the first time it is trading. I mean, the daily gap has been created last Friday, so there was no opportunity to trade that daily bullish gap. London low taken. That is also good. Some of you actually look for that London low, so it has been taken. I mean, it has already been taken. It is also a good thing. Hi, sister. Nagisaktalia. Watching it. Okay, not in rush. So what do I have here? I have this 50-minute last gap of the 50-minute week lower quadrant. So far it is respecting, but if it take this low, then this has no I mean, no importance. Even the body close below this line, I'm just going to remove this 50-minute quadrant level. I'm just not watching any sort of sell right now. It's absolutely thinking like, how can I take the sell over here? Of course, this market can keep falling for this sell side liquid, which is really so clean over here. Like, see this sell side liquid around that area. This is really so clean. Both from higher time frame and the lower time frame, this is really so clean. So if it really would love to fall for this sell side liquid and then this sell side liquidity, gonna be difficult decision for me. I'm not interested to go for the sell right now. I want to see some sort of reaction at least, even if it doesn't retrace, some sort of reaction is expectable. I mean, my expectation is some kind of reaction. Mm, I'm going to remove this gap because that's going to be broken, and we'll see. Just look at this ES candle over here. It's not extremely bullish, but at least this is green. Okay, this is the I mean NQ candle, extremely bearish, and this is the YM candle so far. I mean, still it's bullish. Maybe later it will be bearish, but at least until now it's bullish. Okay, that quadrant level is not important anymore because the low is taken. This low has been taken from this 50 meters. So I'm gonna go back again here to my 15 meters just to see if it really doesn't want to want to fall for this also liquidity. So this is that 50-minute gap I was watching. Can it hold the market and send it higher? Because previously it has been worked over here. Or does it going to be broken and market is going to take this sell side liquidity? I'll just give the highest priority to this gap, even though I have another gap over here. But right now I'm interested to see if it can hold the market and send it higher. However, it has trade this gap, take this low over here. So if the next body close above this gap, I'm gonna take the buy over here from this gap. I don't know it will work or not. I don't give a shit about that. All I know that if it close above this gap, I'm gonna take the buy from this gap as my inversion fair value gap. Otherwise, if it provide me any sort of bullish 22 item model, I'm gonna take that buy as well. Again, I really don't know if it works or not. For example, the body will close above this and then fall again. I don't care, man. I will take the buy from here. That's for sure. My target will be this buy side liquidity, that buy side liquidity. Okay. So all I need to see a body close above this gap so that I can take this buy. But the real question is, where should be my stop loss? My stop loss has to be there. I can't do that. So if I can't do that, what I can do, I can put it around 35 handle and can take a risk over here. Like, I'll just keep it here and just I'll try that risk. Okay. If it close above this gap, gonna take the buy from this inverse gap. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this market will keep falling, and maybe this market will go for this sell side liquidity. I'm just not going to take it. I'll if it do that, I'll just let this go. Okay. But if it close above this, I'll try this buy from this inverse gap. Yeah, I know my stop loss is very small. I mean 35 handle. I can't cover this gap high. I'm cool with that. And the market has already traded the low of the daily opening. I mean daily bullish fair value gap. This is the low of that daily bullish fair value gap over here. See this daily bullish fair value gap. The low of that daily bullish fair value gap has been traded as well. One more time. I mean from this area. Look at this. See this daily bullish gap over here. So that has been traded so far. Just really would love to keep falling and take this this low, or does it really would love to reverse from here? That is the big question. This is not only entry opportunity. If I find another 22 buy model, and for example, this candle close inside this gap, but I got the market structure shift with a bullish fair value gap. I'm not going to wait for this gap to be market to close above this gap, then take the buy from here. I'll simply try that buy model from the 22 YT model if it provide me that. Order block, I'm just not able to take it because the previous low has already been taken. So I'm not interested to use the order block here. Uh, if this low was not taken, here that low, I would I could try some kind of order block like this candle. I could try it, but right now I can't take any sort of order block trade. If it keep falling, I'm just gonna let this go. My account, my choice, man. You don't need to do the same. If you want to take the sell, please go for it. There is a volume. Okay, yes, that's correct. Okay, I read your comment. Daily fair value gap not traded before I give you the reply. London low taken. Hello, Nagisakta Leah. We are in a daily fair value gap and 4 hour fair value gap. So there is also a 4 hour fair value gap. That is also good. Good morning, Jamie. How are you, brother? Guys, this is a game of probability. Okay, I'm not saying that this is going to work or this is like this is going to happen. I'm not saying that. Okay, what else can happen? The market will close above this gap and it will keep going higher. It will never give me the entry opportunity, or maybe market will close, then take me and stop me out, then start to go higher again. Everything is possible, but all I would love to see, I'm not interested to put a huge stop loss. For example, here I can't do that. So I'll try 35 handle stop loss with 3 micro contract, and I'm going to wait for the confirmation. If the body close, I'm going to take the buy. If the body doesn't close, I'm not going to take that buy. Simply I'll let this sell go. So for now, I'm going to remove this because it doesn't look like market is going higher. So I'm going to remove all of them. I'm going to wait. Hello, Eagle Sniper. This is that extreme sell side liquid. Does it really would love to go for that? Of course, it can go for that. And then I have this sell side liquidity here as well. Should I look for sell? I don't think so. Okay, now except YM, both of the market is bearish. Both NQ and ES, both of them are bearish. I have a bearish model, 22 YT model. Should I try that sell? Because market is already below the 50-minute last gap, and I got the market structure shift fair value gap. Should I try that? I will let this go. Maybe this is a bit risky, so I'm not going to take that. Try to take that sell. Also watching this one. Okay, I think I should let this go. This is also called a chasing market. So I don't think so. This is a good idea to chase the market. If it works, I'll be frustrated. No, I don't think so. I'm not in this trade. Okay, maybe this is going to work, but I'm not in this trade actually. To cover the 50% of this candle. If I am in this trade, I have to cover the 50% of this candle. So it's gonna be 36 candle. Not bad. Let's say I'm not in this trade. Okay, I'm only thinking about a buy. So if it provide me the buy, I think I'll go for that. I'm just watching this 22 sell model, but not taking any trade over here. Okay, so far it has shaded the order block. Unfilled opening range gap at 29,423, 29,423, 423. Okay, that is the unfilled opening gap. Yeah, maybe it will fall. Okay, maybe it will fall. Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice this trade. Or what else I could do? I could go for one or two micro contract, I guess. But it seems like I'm just going to react with the market. So market is falling. I'm going to react with that. I am not interested to react with the market. So I better let this go. That is the best opportunity, I guess, because I'm 50-50. This taking sell doesn't doesn't really make any sense to me. Market is trading the daily bullish fair value gap. It is trading the 50-minute last gap. Oh, there is a gap actually below this gap, but still this is also an important gap. So just for uh, fear of missing opportunity, I don't think so. This is a good idea to take the sell from here. So I'll let this go. If it works, I'll just watch it without taking in trade. Is there anyone who is in a trade right now? Can you all pause for a second and hit the like button? Appreciated. Yeah, guys, if there is anyone who interested to push the like button, I highly appreciate that, guys. Who is in a trade right now? This is that gap I was talking about. This gap here. Not the last gap because above this sell side liquidity, there is another gap still that is also valid. Here, see this gap? It is also valid, but this gap was really so beautiful to me. Like one time it has been respected, two time it has been respected. This is the third time. So does it really would love to hold the market and send it higher, or does it want to be broken? Market really would love to fall. I'm going to remove all of them because I'm thinking about a buy. So if I find a buying opportunity, I'm gonna take that buy. Okay. So I'm gonna close all of them. Gonna keep this gap over here. Not an important gap to me. This is not an important gap. I'm just keeping it to me just to see if the market really would love to give me some sort of bullish order block from this gap so that I can take that buy just because of that. But any kind of candle close above this gap is my valid buy from this gap. It's my inversion fair value gap. I mean, if it close above this. Difficult question is if I take the buy from this inverse gap, where should be my stop loss? Like, for example, I took the buy from here. I have to cover this gap as well, right? This gap. It's gonna be 53 handle. I think I'll take this 53 handle risk by 2 micro contract. That means 2 micro contract. That's too much. This is not a bad 22 IT model. Market structure shift, fair value gap, not a bad 22 IT model. So I prefer not to take the entry from here instead of taking entry from here if it provide me that opportunity. Otherwise, I'll just simply take it from there. Okay, I'm going to take this one with lower contract size. I'll go with 2 micro contract. So if I lose, this is gonna be $200, something like that. Main question is, does it really would love to trade the 50% of this dealing range and keep falling? Whatever it is, I'm gonna take this risk. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so I'm going to take this risk. I'm gonna remove it. I'm gonna take a partial here, which is the 50% of this regular. I mean that gap. Some I will try. I'm not saying that I'm going to take it. I'll get it. I'll try to take the partial around the 50% of this gap over here. That gap. That's kind of 1:1, something like that. Like 53 handle is too much. But yeah, this is the only way I could take this trade. And execution mark is over here. Now let's see. Wow, that's 1 minute candle so far has given me 35 handle. That was huge. I'm just afraid that if it really respected this 6 on 8 level and then keep falling again, I think it's not going to happen. Maybe it will keep going higher. Maybe I'll see. I went with the lowest possible leverage, which is 2 micro contract. That is the lowest possible trade for me. I mean, sorry, possible lowest leverage. I'm gonna keep it over there and we'll see if it works. This is a new 15-minute candle. So far, it is trading the 15-minute bearish gap as well as the dealing range here to here. The 6 on 8 level is over here. Okay, so it has a high probability it will be respected from there and keep falling. Okay, if it happens, I'm gonna take that $200 loss. Unfortunately, not going to take any partial over here. 35 handle, something like that. I'm not taking any partial. We'll love to take the partial exactly to the 50%. Because first of all, my stop loss is too much, too big actually, and the second logic is like this is the most logical level where the market should trade, even if it would love to fall. Okay, so that's why I'm trying to catch it until the 50%. But again, this is all about the probability. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this market has traded this 6 on 8 level. Now it will start to fall again for this sell side liquidity. Maybe, and I'll get stopped out. I have to accept that. Here is a 22 IT model, buy model. This is the entry gap. Market can trade this entry gap around there. And this is the breakaway gap. I just covered that breakaway gap by my stop loss. Just the breakaway gap, okay, with nothing else. Just the breakaway gap here, okay. So if I do get stopped out, my stop loss is just 1 tick below this breakaway gap. Good. Otherwise, if it build a down close body close candle and then close above that candle again, I'm gonna add more over there from that order block because I entered with the lowest possible leverage. So for example, this is a down close body close candle. This candle is going to close above this candle. If it happens, okay, I'm gonna add more over there by trailing my stop loss. You'll see that I actually do this when I have some losing trade. I went with 1 micro contract, 2 micro contract, then I pyramid the trade. I keep taking the partial. So here I didn't take any other trade. This is the first trade, but I went with the 2 micro contract. So if it provide me that opportunity, I'm gonna add more by trailing my stop loss. You'll be able to see that. Okay. So for the best, I'm gonna keep this inverse gap over here for now. I'm more watching this 22 YT model. I'm just marking this high. That is not the perfect high, but I'm just marking it, okay? Just for the sake of this uh, entry. Again, I can be wrong because this is super trading the bearish gap from 50-minute chart. It has traded the dealing range 6 on 8 level. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the market will fall now, but I'm cool with that, okay? Because I didn't over leverage. Yeah, my stop loss is a bit bigger, but I had to cover this breakaway gap. Now rest is luck. Okay, so it has traded this breakaway gap. I don't know it will stop me out or not, but it's not the order block anymore. And this gap doesn't have any value anymore. This is the only gap that is important right now for the 22 YT model, just to look for the order block. So here, this candle high is going to be my order block if it doesn't stop me out. Let's see. If this candle or the very next candle or within 5 candle, any candle close above this line, I'm going to add more over there. Otherwise, if it stop me out, I'm going to get stopped out over here. Mm, mm. Tap to the low of that breakaway gap. I think I got stopped out. Yeah. I, is it going to fall? We'll see. 2 micro contract. That is the lowest I could go for. Yeah, stop loss was a bit bigger. 53 handle. It was good setup to me. We have another bearish SMT with ES, I believe. Let me see. It's actually the 15-minute candle that is open from my ES. Okay, so let me actually open it over here. So here, right, there is another bearish SMT. Let me see which is actually stronger. Is that the SMT? Okay, so when the market is going higher, ES is stronger. So it has to take the high. NQ should fail to take the high. That should be the logic. So it has taken the high, NQ has failed to take that high. Okay, that's a beautiful SMT, bearish SMT. It's true. But if you watch this 50-minute chart, like over here, it is trading this 50-minute gap. But look at this, it is trading the 50-minute bullish gap right here. It is trading the 50-minute bullish gap. Also, like bullish gap is holding the market. Here, bearish gap is holding the market. A bit tricky. So it has traded the 6 on 8 level and then reacting from there. Breakaway gap or the last gap is still holding the market. Market tap to this gap over here. What should I do? All the market are bearish now. YM, NQ, ES, all of them are bearish now. Okay, what else I can do? I can mark the quadrant level of that week. Why? Because this has also taken all the low and trade the fair value gap. So this is the quadrant level. I'm going to remove this bearish PDRA because I'm still believing this will go higher. So it is reacting from here. Let's hope for the best. I'm gonna mark this consecutive candle. I'll try another buy from the order block because this is still logical to me. Okay, in this type of scenario, also maybe my stop loss is gonna be a bit bigger. 42 handle. I'll try this buy from this order block if the candle close out of this order block. So far, I'm believing this one. Okay, and yeah, I know that it stopped me out. It was a bit overzealous, violate this gap with the week, so we did the damage. But I'm gonna take this as well again. Target will be this buy sell liquidity. If it close above this candle, I'm gonna try one more buy. I'll go with the 2 micro contract again. Let's see if it can close above the order block, consecutive order block. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it didn't close. So either I will miss this trade or maybe market will never go higher. Let's see. I think I'll miss this trade actually. Market will go higher, but I'll miss this trade. That is also acceptable. Put it over there. So we did the damage. Come on, baby, on my Friday. I think I'll miss this trade, guys. I even can't go less than 2 micro contract, okay? I can't go less than 2 micro contracts. So I have to try this one actually from here. 210. I don't think so. I'll get this entry actually. Market will go without me. I think so. But let's hope for the best because I have gap over here, a beautiful gap. So there is a probability market will trade this bullish order block without trading this bullish gap. So it has traded the upper quadrant of the week from 15-minute chart. So far, it is respecting this 50-minute gap over here. 22 YT model breakaway gap. Week did the damage, build the order block. I'm going to try that order block buy one more time. Come on, man, a bit lower. I'll just go for the market order if I see that market is denying to trade that order block. And that market order is going to be closed exactly to the 50%. It will tap to that gap and start to react from there. I'll add the market order. Okay, I'm in actually. So I don't need to worry about market order. I'm going to try this actually from here, remove it. Again, guys, I'm not saying this is going to work. I'm just trying my best to get this trade from the model. It's something like market structure shift, fair value gap, lowest down close, body close candles, not the candle. Candles are the order block. Trade this order block. Stop loss is going to cover the 50% of these consecutive candles. Most logical level is the 50% of this gap. I'll put the limit order actually if I see it is going higher. Otherwise, I'll just start to trail the stop loss. Okay. So order block has been traded. All I need now an unfilled gap. So if I see there is a gap that is unfilled, I would be awesome. Okay. If it wouldn't stop me out over there, for example, if I wouldn't get stopped out over there, I would add more over there by trailing my stop loss. Okay. So unfortunately, it stopped me out over here. So I was not able to add more. Instead of that, I'm entering again over here. Okay. So that is that 50%. I'm gonna take a partial over there. That is the most logical level to me, I'll try to take the partial over here. In the meantime, I'll try to add more so that I can pyramid the trade. We'll see that, okay? I'll see how many handles is it actually delivering according to my, I mean, toward my TP. So for 15 handle. ES has started to go higher already. Okay. YM is still bullish. NQ is showing some sort of reaction from this gap. Okay. So for, I think it is going to work. I think it is going to work. I need to see a body close above this line. If there is a gap, I'm going to add more over there by trailing my stop loss below this gap. If I see a body close with a bullish fair value gap. How much it has provided me? 34 handles, 36 handles, something like that. I need some speed over here. Come on, come on, come on, man. Come on. Give me that. Give me that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It can fall, take this low, trade this gap before going higher. The best is it will leave this gap open. Like it will never come back to this gap. It seems like it left that gap open, which has worked as a breakaway gap from ICT concept that when the market is extremely bullish, it doesn't have the time to fill that gap. So if it doesn't touch that gap, that is the best case of scenario. Otherwise, it can fall, take this low because it needs to take some sell side liquidity, right? This is the last time market has cleared the swing low, and then it has built this swing low, that swing low. So something like this low will be taken, market will trade this gap, then it will start to go higher. All I need to see, can the body close above this line? I need some speed toward my direction right now. Some people really think that I should enter over here, but most of the time, like I miss the trade, man. To be honest, it's more hurtful to missing the trade rather than getting a losing trade. Because I'm not gambling over here. I'm just waiting for the setup. When the setup has been appeared on the chart, I'm going to enter over there. However, this inverse gap is working also so beautifully over here. So it has violated a bit. Okay. It came to this gap. I don't know. It took me. Now why it's not my stop loss also didn't work. Okay. What the hell is that? My stop loss also didn't work. Like my stop loss was like 200. I saw $156, something like that. I have taken $400 loss, something like that. Waiting velocity to respond. Okay, my portal. What the hell was that? Hmm. I got moved live with Lucid, bro. Congratulations, King, for your new live, brother. Okay, what is this, guys? Is there anything like last time 10:32? Is this like 10:16 today? I think there is some kind of news. 160 handle. Yeah, of course there should be some kind of news. This is tough to trade this market actually in this type of scenario where anytime something should like happen like this way. Like I'm in a trade and suddenly there is a 160 handle fall. This is a disaster. Mickey, what happened, brother? Find out what happened. I think I've already more than 400 because my stop loss didn't work. Okay, no, actually my stop loss worked. I saw $474, so I thought that my stop loss didn't work, but it actually worked. That's a good thing. But what is that? Come on, man. News. What type of news is that, brother? I didn't see any news we have around this time, like 10, 16. We have any news around that area? I didn't know that. That is so fast. 160 handle. Oh man, if I were in a sale around that area, that would be awesome. I would get a 160 handle. By the way, it will go higher now, I guess. Like it is going to happen like the last time. The same thing is going to happen like over here. Boom, then slowly keep bending higher. I think it will do the same thing here as well. Like this is disaster. I hate you, market. Okay, I'm going to remove this gap because that's not important. I'm gonna remove them as well. I'll need that on them as well because they didn't stop the market. Gonna remove this one as well. This one I'll keep it. So for this market has built some buy side there. How can I change the time frame? Mm, 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 mm. What is the time frame? Anybody can knows that? What is the time? I need to go for the second chart. What is happening on the 15-second chart? I wanna watch, see that. Anybody has any idea? How can I switch to 15-second chart? Daily market of, they'll ask. Is that here? No, it's not there. It is also not there. Okay, that is the MNQ chart. Inside the chart on the top, inside the chart on the top. Seconds. Also don't have anything over here from the second chart. Okay, let me see actually. This type of news, how can we deal it? I mean, deal with that. Guys, by the way, I don't know. I really don't know how to remove them. This type of What is them like? I really don't know. I need to watch the 15-second chart. That's I'm watching it. Nothing else. Inside the chart, gray letter top box left. I got it, man. Green day for me, down for today. Congratulations, Jamie. You have already got the green day. Both of that run has given me more than 35 handle, but my stop loss was like 50 plus handles, 40 handles, something like that. So I didn't take none of the partial. No, I will not take it. How to remove it? I have to remove it. Yeah. I'll not take it actually. It left the sell side here, so I'm gonna let it go. This is just a simply bad luck. I mean, this type of candles destroyed me last time here. It destroyed me here. It has destroyed me here. And now I have no idea how to deal with this type of candles. I mean, this type of candles are really so disaster. I have no idea how can I deal with this type of candles. Oh, man. What the hell is this market? How we can trade this market? I was talking about last week. Whenever sudden drop happens, market almost always goes back into the range where the drop started from. Absolutely, brother. I mean, again, like this candle is absolutely unexpected. It doesn't need to be there. The manipulation has done. The 50 mid cap has already been traded. Like market structure shift is over there. Everything is over there. It should simply keep gaining higher. Now suddenly, boom, boom, and now market is going higher. What can I do over here? Disaster, disaster, man, disaster. It has tapped to the first presented gap low, but still it has to reach to the 50%. I will try another buy here from this gap actually. Unfortunately, I'll go for it from there. Stop loss is going to cover this gap over here, this breakaway gap, because I'm watching the last time market has fallen, taken the liquidity here. This liquidity has been cleared. Another market structure shift, another fair value gap. So I just push the market order, and from this entry gap, this is the breakaway gap that I'm going to cover by my stop loss. Again, 2 micro contract. I can't simply go for 3, 4, 5 micro contract. I can't do that. Going to cover this breakaway gap, and this time I'll just target this buy side liquidity because I can't simply take the partial over here. Market has already moved a lot. So I'll try to take the partial above this high, which is going to be my first partial. And I'm gonna hold the trade. Actually, not there. Actually, here. Sell limit to this rejection block. Hmm, there. So I think it's gonna be okay. 86 handle. That is too much. Still, I have just 2 micro contracts. So I'll try this one. In the meantime, I wanna see how much this market is moving toward my direction. This is a really big, big stop loss. So I'm doing like leverage. I'm leaving the leverage lower. I'm building the leverage lower. So 2 micro contract is the lowest I could go for. Same logic, guys. Okay, to be honest, that was the most more important. I mean, so beautiful 22 buy model over here from this gap, this gap. But this happened. Like it can happen one more time. If it happens, simply bad luck. Otherwise, it should simply keep going higher for those buy side liquidity over there. And I will keep waiting for the opportunity to adding more. I just push the market limit order. That's why entry is over there. But actually, the entry should be here to the top of this gap. But this is so frustrating market, to be honest. Just 8 handle. Okay. Same logic, same everything. Like here, market structure hit, fair value gap, breakaway gap, boom. The same thing here. Market has cleared the sell side liquidity. I have the higher time frame point of interest as well. That is that 50-minute bullish gap, last gap. Another market structure shift, which is also good here. And entry gap. I need some gap to be filled, unfilled. So this gap should work as a breakaway gap. If it leaves some gap open like this way, it has a high probability to go for this buy side liquidity. However, now this market has reached to the most logical level, which is the 50% of this gap. It can start to reverse now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my stop loss to the break even because it can reverse from there. Okay. I'm not taking the partial again, 35, 36 handle, something like that. I'm not simply taking the partial. I'm moving my stop loss to the break even because if it really would love to reverse from here and would love to trade this breakaway gap, I will wait for order block buy. But I don't want to hold this trade anymore and just digest all the drawdown. I'm not interested to digest them. So my stop loss is at the break even. I'll see how far it can go. Okay, 40 handle, something like that. It has moved so far. That's cool. And I don't think so. It will give me an opportunity to add more. If it keep grinding like that way, I won't be able to add more. Otherwise, if it stop, I mean, take my partial, then come back again, trade this gap, and then build a bullish order block. I'm gonna add more over there because my partial has been taken. I'll left one micro contract over there, and then I'll keep holding the trade for this buy side liquidities. Again, guys, these candles is unpredictable. Nobody can predict this type of candle. How can I predict that? First time I got stopped out, that was like my stop loss was tight. Always you can see here my stop loss is too tight. Okay, still this is 57 handle. Still that was 57 handle. So it has given me so far 57, more than 57 handle actually, but not taking the partial here. Okay, 62 handle. It has given 62 handle. That was good. Yeah, let's see. 379 so for the loss. I think I should take some risk over here. No, I'm not going to take the risk. Okay, I'll put my stop loss exactly to the break even. So if it doesn't work, good. If it works, that is also good. Not going to take any risk. Still, I have two losses over here already. So not going to take any other risk. Either it has to reach higher or I'll get stopped out simply. I was thinking about this candle low actually. It doesn't have any wick. So it can come back again to build a wick over here. But in that type of scenario, it has a high probability to come to this entry gap. So I don't want to take that risk. So if it really would love to make the wick for this, from here, that candle wick over here. Good. I'll accept that break even. 933 is the last fair value gap. 933, 933, 933. This is the last gap as well. Okay. Yeah, that is also the last gap. So nobody should close below the CE of this gap. That is also the last gap. So according to the logic, nobody should close below the CE as well. So I think my stop loss is good. Thank you so much. Who is that who gave me this information? Jamie. Thank you so much, brother. Bit hopeful that it will work. I have the buy side liquidity actually above this gap. So this is absolutely logical. Nobody should close below the CE of this gap. But again, this is a really weird market. So we'll see. Uh, body didn't close, but it seems like it stopped me out. Okay. And the market will come here. Okay. Yeah, it stopped me out. Market will go there and then we'll go higher maybe. It's a break even. So of course, not not going to cry for that. But this is what it is. I tried, but didn't work. That has been violated. So we'll see if it really would love to come here and then go higher again. Once I was thinking about this candle low actually because it doesn't have any wick. I was thinking like maybe it will fall and build the wick for this, then go higher. But later I find out that okay, if this low is taken, this is the most logical level that should be traded. This or this, they need to be traded. So that's why I didn't move my stop loss bit lower. Otherwise, I think it would be awesome. Now it is going to fall again. That's gonna be disaster. It should not fall because the bearish cap from 50-minute chart is already been broken. Small. Was I greedy actually? No, I was not greedy because my stop loss was bigger. Yeah, this time I could take some partial. But otherwise, all other area my stop loss was bigger. So I was not greedy actually. This is that daily bullish gap over here. It is so beautifully holding the market. Not even thinking about a fall. Okay, it will go higher, but the way it is going higher, tough for me. Okay, that was also a good setup. And I'm thinking about that this market will maybe it will come here and I'll be able to get another entry from that area. That was a break even. Okay, so this is not a losing trade. That was a break even. So I'm cool with that. However, there is going to be a bearish order block. Should I scalp over here a bit? I'm going to scalp this one. From these consecutive candles, I'm going to take the sell. I will try to hold the trade until this breakaway gap. I'll try to cover a partial over here. So if it come here, it actually didn't give me the opportunity. Now it has traded the entry gap. Still, I'll try this one. Stop loss is going to be above this candle. A very small scalp from here. Above this is 28 handle. Buy stop. I'm just not confident about that, but small scalping until this breakaway gap. From the order block to until this breakaway gap. In the meantime, I'll try to take the partial to the 50% over here. So I'll take a partial to this area. This is just an scalping, okay? And I will try to hold the trade until this breakaway gap. And then I'll start to look for buy again. Okay, that is gonna be the closing of this trade. 50% is gonna be the partial. And for the first time, I'll get the opportunity. I'll put my stop loss to the break even. Okay, there. Just an scalping. Okay, so then I will start to look for a buy model again from the order block. So that's gonna be the partial. And I'll try to hold my trade until this breakaway gap by putting the stop loss to the break even. Just buy anyhow if it really would love to reach for this breakaway gap. Otherwise, it will build a bullish order block over here. I'll take the buy from there. This is just a scalping. Market structure shift, fair value gap, down close, body close candles are the bearish order block. Trying to hold it until the 50% of this dealing range. More importantly, if it really would love to come over here, that is also good. But I will try to hold exactly to the top of this breakaway gap. And this time, I have taken the partial, the most logical level, which is 29 handle. My every single trade, like this trade, has given me more than 35 handles, something like 42 handle. I didn't take the partial. I was greedy. This trade over here has given me 36 handle. I didn't take the partial. I was greedy. This trade given me 62 handle. I didn't take the partial. I was greedy. Every single trade has given me a lot of partial opportunity, but I didn't take it. I was greedy. So this time I have taken the partial to the most logical level. Didn't try to hold the partial until here, so I'll close my trade to the breakaway gap by putting my stop loss to the break even. So just a bit small scalping, and we'll see if it can fall and come to this breakaway gap. From the breakaway gap, I will start to look for buy again. This is the most logical level it should come, and then I will start to think if there is any buying opportunity. Come on, bro. This is the gap I'm seeing. If it can reach to this gap over here, doesn't need to, but if it can go, that is the best case of scenario. Come on, bro. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. This is so far the market actually. Like, what can I say? This market. I mean, this is the YM, sorry, NQ from the hourly chart. This is the chart from the YM. This is the chart from the ES, and this is the chart from the NQ again from the 15-minute chart. Come on, come on, come on. A bit more. Come to the papa. Ah, I'm not happy to hold it anymore. Okay, this time I got the partial. That is a good thing. Now I'm interested to look for a buying opportunity from the bullish order block. So if this candle is closing as a down close body close candle, and the next body close above this candle, I'm gonna take the buy from this candle. But the what's I mean the ES is extremely bearish, YM is extremely bearish. Is this keep falling? Maybe. I don't know. Now my idea is to take the buy only. And I'll go for this order block trade. If it close above this candle, I'm gonna take the buy from this candle. If it close, okay, I'm not saying this is going to happen. And I hope my stop loss is gonna be bit lower actually. I can put it here. It came to the 50% of this dealing range, low, high, 50%, breakaway gap. Close above this, I'm gonna take another buy for the same buy side liquid over here from the order block. Create limit order. This time I can go for three. Yeah, I can go for it. I hope it will take me. I was bit late, man. I was bit late. Ah, come on, one more time. One more tap. One more tap. One more tap. One more tap. Please. I think I'm missing this. I was just 1 second left. I mean, sorry, late. One more tap. Come on. There you go. Stop loss is going to be there. And I'm going to take the partial over here. This is the first partial level, most logical level. Okay. That's going to be the first partial. Not going to go for 1:1. We'll see until here. I'm going to be greedy again. Am I going to be greedy again? Maybe. Okay, let's see if I'm going to be greedy again or not. Okay. Order block trade. Okay. So while it fall, where did it came to this breakaway gap? 22 buy model, breakaway gap, 50% of the dealing range. Took the buy from the order block. I think I'm not going to be greedy. Okay. So I think I'm not greedy. It will come over here. I hope so. But let's see if I'm greedy, because if it come over here and then start to fall, then I'll say, okay, I was greedy. I'll put my stop loss over there because now it should build the unfilled gap. It doesn't need to come back again to the order block, mean threshold of that order block. It doesn't need to do that. Man, please don't say that I'm greedy. Okay, so it has provided 1:1 partial. I'm not taking it, even though this market is has given me the opportunity. I'm not taking it. I think I'm not greedy. Okay, I think I'm not greedy. Come on, please don't prove me wrong. Honestly, this gap to be unfilled, that was a small, very small scalping. It's not a trade idea actually. This is just an scalping. If I'm lucky, it will give my profit. If I'm not lucky, it will just stop me out. So I want to see this gap to be created over here and this gap to be unfilled. Okay. Okay. A bit more. I hope I'll get my partial. There you go. I got my partial. I'm happy. I got my partial. So I'll put my stop loss to the break even now. Again, guys, I really don't know how to deal with this type of candle. I have no idea. Okay. This type of candles are really disaster. Now I'm gonna take the second partial to this rejection block over here. If it come over there, I'm gonna take the second partial to this rejection block. In the meantime, I will keep taking the partial, I'll keep pyramiding the trade. So now my stop loss is at the break even. So even if I get stopped out, I'm cool with that. Before going higher, I prefer this market to trade this gap. If it doesn't trade this gap, I won't be able to add more. But if it trade this gap, I'll be able to add more from the propulsion block or the order block, whatever you say. So what happened here actually, market structure shift, fair value gap, trade this fair value gap, went higher, build the buy side liquidity, fall, came to this breakaway gap, finish the unfinished business because market needed to build the order block. There was no order block. Build the order block, trade the order block, and then going higher toward the buy side liquidity. So it has traded this gap. Happy to see that because if it wouldn't do that, I won't be able to add more. Now I'm good to add more from any sort of candle closing above this gap. Like this type of scenario is going to happen. Tap to this gap, down close, body close candle, tap to this candle again. I'm going to add more over there to this candle over here. In the meantime, I'll just simply take the partial to this rejection block and then I'll try to close my trade to this buy side liquidity. If it reach for this buy side liquidity. Otherwise, it fall, stop me out to the break even. Good with that. So far, it is providing 42 handle, 43 handle. I'm greedy. I'm not greedy now, okay? Because market has given me the thing I was needed. It has already given me that. And is there anything left? This market open? Nothing left. Okay, I don't need this 15-second chart. $379. So I think I have mitigated some of the losses. Yeah, $219. Still, I'm in loss. $219. So if I close the trade right now, I will have $100 loss, something like that. Good. Everything is perfect as long as this gap is not going to close 100%. If it close 100%, okay, now it's not going to work, I believe so. I'll get stopped out. Fun. Fun is fun. This is not the unfilled gap, so still market has to build the unfilled gap. No worries. Guys, it's tough market. I'm watching. Can the market trade the 50% of this candle and reject it from there again? Okay, so if it touch this line, it has to touch it so that I will be able to re-enter over here. But if it doesn't touch it, I have to let the run go without taking any trade. But if it touch this line, I will show you another entry opportunity. It has to trade this line. Otherwise, I won't be able to trade this market. I mean, take any other buy. 15-minute chart. So far, it's good, not bad. I mean, I'm saying good means it doesn't good. It's really disaster. If you watch this hourly candle, you'll understand what I mean to say. Like this is the hourly candle, 10 to 11 candle. It came here, it came there. It is going to close as a no, like a small body, long week. So this is really disaster. And from 15-minute chart, long week, small body. But hope so, it will provide me that. How I'm going to enter over here again. If it come here, one body close below this, the very next body close above this mid threshold, absolutely acceptable. But it has to trade it, and then it has to build just a bullish gap. That's all. It will build the bullish gap. I'm already in a trade. Not going to wait for that gap to be traded to enter. Like it will build some sort of bullish gap. After trading this line, I'm already in a trade. This market is keep bouncing. Tomorrow is CPI. That's why maybe. I still have some losses actually. I think how much? $219. Okay, $100 I have lost so far. That's good. Like it tapped here, okay? Any kind of bullish gap. It will build the bullish gap. I'm already in a trade. So I have to be very careful because I could miss this trade. Now it will be very speedy, okay? It will be like so speed. Any sort of bullish gap, I have to enter over there immediately. And I have to just cover that bullish gap. That candle is going to build the bullish gap. I have to just cover that candle low. For example, this candle is going to close here. The next candle just closed with a bullish gap. I'm already in a trade. Jamie, question the 15-minute fair value gap candle 9. 15-minute chart is disaster today, brother. This candle will build the gap. I'm already in a trade. Just I need the gap. That's all. But for example, this candle is going to close here. I'm not able to take any trade over here. But if it close here somewhere, I'm already in a trade. So I have to be very careful. This candle closed, I'm in a trade. By the way, let me see how much is going to be the stop loss. It's 30 handle, not a big deal. Hope it is not going to close here somewhere because if it moved a lot, I won't be able to enter. Otherwise, if it close very near to this candle close, I'll be able to enter over here. Okay. Otherwise, here like I've already missed the trade, I guess. Yeah, I think so. I missed the trade. Okay. I missed the trade. It will like I'm not entering, but look how this market is going higher. That's why I was saying that this gap has been built. I'm already in a trade, but the market actually moved a lot. This is the real unfilled gap. This is the IOFED. I think I will be able to get an opportunity from this gap. Maybe I'm not sure about that. If this gap is being created, maybe, but that is also too far actually, but acceptable. I don't think so. It will give me that opportunity or not. I don't think so. It will give me that opportunity. That's why I was saying that this candle will close. I should be in that trade, but it has closed too far. Like from here, this candle close and this candle close is too big. So I'll try my luck actually. If it come to this gap, maybe I'll be able to enter. Otherwise, let's hope for the best. I'm not going to get the entry. I'm 99% I'm sure. I'm like 99% sure I'm not going to get the entry before clearing this high, unfortunately. That was the job market has to do. Came to the min threshold. One body close below this acceptable. If body doesn't close, like react like this way, that is awesome. This gap has been created. You have to be in the trade already. You are already in a trade because this gap is nearly impossible. I mean, most of the time it will never be traded. Maybe this will be traded because if it doesn't trade, then it will fall again later. So it should trade this gap. If it trade, I'll be lucky. However, I have to cover the order block open. It's not a big stop loss, 28 handle. That's good. I am pretty much confident that I'm not going to get this trade. Once I was thinking that let's enter with one micro contract, and then if it fall, then maybe I'll be able to get another entry. But yeah, this is what it is. In this type of scenario, for example, if it is not a good bull candle, otherwise it's an indecisive candle, that is the best scenario. I'm already in a trade and I'm going to believe this is not going to be traded and market is going higher. See the speed, look at the speed over here. 99% of the time, you will never be able to enter over here. 99% of the time, you'll never be able to enter over here if you wait for the gap to be traded. So you have to enter without tapping to this gap. If you see the 22 YT model gap has been traded, then order block has been traded here. The order block has been traded. Mean threshold is not traded. Market went higher, didn't take the buy side liquidity, then fall again. You have to wait first to trade the mean threshold. After trading the mean threshold, again, one body close is acceptable. The very next body has to close above the mean threshold. Whenever you will find the bullish gap, this candle and this candle, right? 1054 candle, 1056 candle. These two candle has built this BC, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. This candle close, you are already in a trade. Target the buy side liquidity because this is too fast to market here and market will never give you the opportunity. But best of if it doesn't trade this gap, it actually fall one more time. I'll see if it fall, but I am not able to enter over here again. Why you don't want to go to the sell side first? Where is the sell side? Sell side has been cleared, brother. All the sell side has been cleared. And this is the gap that is holding the market. Like from here, 15 minutes, look at this gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. This is the gap it is holding. Daily bullish gap, low over here. Low has been traded. And from 1 minute chart, again, I am not acceptable. I'm accepting this candle. Okay. This is the very weird candle, but this is what it is, There should be some kind of news. I don't know what type of news was there, but there was some kind of news over there. That was the setup. Not the best setup, not the best market structure shift because this is the sideways candle. But however, market structure shift, fair value gap, trade that fair value gap, market should keep going higher. One more time it has taken the low, acceptable. Again, market structure shift, fair value gap, trade the fair value gap. You should be in the trade. Stop loss below this low, market will go higher. If you trail the stop loss, got a stopped out here, re-entry opportunity from the order block. Take the order block entry, market is going higher, hit your profit, good. If you trail your stop loss, got stopped out, wait for this mean threshold to be traded, and then this fair value gap is going to create because every single job is done over here. Nothing left over here. Sell side, I don't have any, except this extreme one actually. This is the extreme one, but this sell side liquidity is going to be taken if this gap is broken. As long as this gap is not broken from 15-minute chart, I don't think so. This market has the probability to fall for that sell side liquidity. And now the buy side, and finally the new week opening gap, buy side, extreme buy side, 50% of the opening gap, lower quadrant of the opening gap, ha, ha, upper quadrant of the opening gap, they're going to be. But again, as this gap is not been traded yet, I think this market will fall again, but I am not able to enter anymore because the liquidity has been taken already. Yeah, some liquidity is still left over here. I'll see if I find another, but I really don't know how to enter from here except this gap is filled 100%. Like now the market will do this type of scenario. If it do that, I'll be able to enter again. It will fill this gap 100% as long as This low is not taken. This low is important. Not that low, not that low, not any other low. This low is not taken. Anytime this gap will be filled 100%, I will wait for this type of scenario. Low, high, lower low, high stop close, body close candle, breaker block, market will go for the buy side liquidity. I have never seen in my life this breaker block didn't work. But you should look for this breaker block outside of the lunch hour, okay? Because lunch hour is something where nothing works. I mean, now these days it works, but most of the time it doesn't work. So that is the only opportunity I have right now to enter over here. Otherwise, market will simply keep grinding all the buy side liquidity and it will never give me another opportunity, brother. Does it make any sense? That was a Trump tweet. Yeah, this guy is destroying us. It is destroying us, to be honest, brother. That was a very small scalp. I mean, so that buy was a break even. That was a small scalping. That buy was a scalp here, and I missed this trade. So first two trade, it is a losing trade here, and it is a losing trade there. From the same logic, same everything. Trump destroyed me once. I destroyed myself once. Eventually, I end up with $105 loss. Good, still it's good. Okay, it is under control. I'm going to control. Okay, after 11:30, I will just close my. I mean, I will lock down myself. I'm not going to mitigate the loss today. I'm gonna lock down myself because I have found that things actually on trade of it. So I'm gonna lock myself out. I'll wait for. By the way, guys, I would love to show you these things one more time because some of you have joined right now. This is the Apex, and the activation fees is gonna be $59. One price, okay? Every single account size, $59. That is the activation fees. The account is going to cost maybe 50K account is gonna cost $19 only, and $59 is the activation fees. You are able to buy 5 account all together because Apex is the only I mean platform they will allow you to trade 20 account altogether, 20 funded account. So I think this is a great deal because even I mean usually the activation fees is $130, which is expensive, and you can start to judge yourself. Am I going to pass some account because that's gonna cost only $19. One eval account is gonna just cost you $19, 19 $19. For example, you'll go. I'm not able to do that from Bangladesh because it's actually blocked from Bangladesh. We are banned. So I'm not able to buy. Otherwise, like you will buy 10 account, it will cost $190. And then you will try to pass at least 6, 7, 8 account. That will give you a huge potential. Okay. Huge. I mean, you should dive into the water to know how to swim. Like paper trading is not going to help you. So this is really so cheap and that is really awesome. If any of you are interested, please make sure you have used the code T2T. The 390 sell side, the 390 sell side, the 390 sell side, 390 sell side, 39. Yeah, I think we are talking about the same thing. I like this sell side liquidity. As I told you, brother, and Andres, like this is the gap from 15-minute chart. Okay, so you see here, yeah, there is another gap over here. It could fall actually, but see this gap, it is holding. Okay, let me actually close the entries execution so you can see it. Like, look at this gap from 50-minute chart here, that gap. It is respecting. Okay, so as long as this gap is not going to be broken, I'm not thinking about this sell side liquidity. I think we are talking about the same sell side liquidity over here. That is the sell side liquidity. Okay. However, like it is holding the market. I'm more interested to see this buy side liquidity here. That is the buy side liquidity. Can the market go for this buy side liquidity? Even I don't need to hold the trade for this buy side liquidity. From 1 minute chart, I have this buy side liquidity, this high, those highs. I have this clean buy side liquidity. They're more than enough for being profitable. But you see, this is, I mean, I could look for this sell side liquidity over here, which is 390 level you are asking about. But for that, I need to look for this gap to be broken at first. If this gap is broken, there is a high probability this market will fall and take this sell side liquidity. But if it is not broken from 15-minute chart, there is low probability market will go for the sell side. Instead of that, it is high probable that market will go for the buy side liquidity. What else do you have from the daily chart? You have this daily bullish gap as well. So this is that daily bullish gap over here that is holding the market. This daily bullish gap, this candle high, this candle low, this candle high, this candle low. See here, there is a BC, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Even though I didn't like it actually, the way it closed this gap, because if it really interested to go higher, it is in a consolidation zone. Okay, it's been gonna be a long time. This market will keep consolidating. That sell side liquidity you're asking for, that will be taken as well. I believe so, like that way, brother. That is also going to be taken. That sell side liquidity is actually below this candle. This candle low is that sell side liquidity. That is also going to be taken. The reason is, if the market really interested to go higher, like boom, something like that, it has to leave some gap open. Like here, see this gap over here, this gap is open. Market never trade this gap, and then look at these candles. Think this is the daily chart. Just think like that. This is the daily chart. See this gap, it has been filled 100% over here. That specific gap has been filled 100%. Okay, market started to go from here, going higher. Is there any gap that is left open? Nothing. Then market fall and then build a gap over here. Is there any gap that market left open? No, nothing. Closed it 100%, right? Then, like when it closed, go higher, fall again. Now look at the speed. Why? Because this gap is still open. That's why I'm saying that from the daily chart, if this market really interested to go higher and to go for this buy side, this high, that high, relatively equal highs, it has to leave some sort of gap to open. Still, it didn't leave it open. So I still believe that your sell side liquidity you are asking about, that is also going to be taken. Okay. So this sell side liquidity you are looking for, this low and that low. Yeah, that is that sell side liquidity. I believe that it will be taken as well. I can be wrong, okay, but I think it will be taken as well. And then slowly market will keep going higher and to go for the buy side liquidity, which is around that area, that buy side liquidity here. But right now you're asking, you can think that this is a selling opportunity right now. Okay, brother, please go for it. But I'm watching, can the market fill that gap 100%? Still, I have 20 minutes left. Okay, so I'm watching it. Can the market fill this gap 100% and then build the breaker block? If you do that, I'm gonna take the buy from the breaker block. I've never seen in my life that breaker block has been failed. Never ever until now. But it's not acceptable inside the lunch hour. That was a Trump tweet. Yeah, my brother, Trump is destroying us, unfortunately. However, guys, this is the last gap over here. It has a high probability to work with this consecutive order block and take this buy side liquidity. This is a very small scalping idea. I'm not asking any of you to do that, but trust me, this is something you should look for. Always you should look for. If you see the last gap, okay, forget about this first presented gap. This is a first presented gap, right? From 930. Forget about that. Below this buy side liquidity, this is the last fair value gap. So when this candle has closed, this candle has closed above this gap and then break this gap 100%. Next time when it is going to break this gap, you will always look for this down close body close candle and you will expect the lowest down close body close candle is going to respect and market is going to go higher. So stop loss below this. I'm not saying it is going to work, but it is something you should observe. Maybe it is not going to work, but you should observe it. I will only go for the trade if the candle 100% close this gap. Then I'll go for the trade. All other trade, I'm gonna let them go. Question T2, can I say the if the price break the 50-minute fair value gap Friday high, it is the next target? Okay, so I think Friday high, what is that? I think this is the Friday high over here. Yeah, that is the high. When I'm gonna accept this high is going to be taken. See this gap? This is the new week opening gap from this week, okay? So what else can happen? Any kind of bearish gap over here is not important at all. First of all, no bearish fair value gap from 50-minute chart, hourly chart, daily chart. Nothing is important as long as this gap is over here, which is the new week opening gap. Friday close, Monday, Sunday open. You can see this type of scenario thousands of the time. It will again and again, like it will keep respecting this gap over here. this new week opening gap. That is the power of the new week opening gap. I'm really not sure if I am able to show you some law, something over here. That is a gap, right? I'm gonna mark this gap. This is a new week opening gap. See, this is the weekly chart here. That is the weekly chart. So I'm gonna mark this new week opening gap. I'm gonna make it greener, okay? The most green area. I'm going to go back to 15-minute chart. Now look at this gap from the beginning. Okay? This is the area where this market gap made the gap open, okay? Trade it. First trade it, respect from there. Trade it, respect from there. Violate it. Here, violate, respect there. A bit violation over here, just a bit violation. Come here, close above, support, support. Close below, again violation, resistance, 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 resistance. Like, just look at this. This is the gap. You don't know when it is going to be respected. Nobody knows that. But as long as this gap is over there, how far? Like ICT talked about this for 5 weeks and maximum 60 days. Maximum 60 days, but 5 weeks is good. As long as this gap is not going to be expired, 5 weeks is not going to happen. You can't say that the high is going to be taken, which is over here. Okay, so I'm going to remove this one. I'm going to keep this one. That is the old gap. I have the new opening gap. So as long as this gap is not broken, this high is nearly impossible to be taken. So it can be respected from 50%. It can be respected low, lower quadrant, upper quadrant, maybe to the top. It can simply keep respecting over there. However, guys, I will wait for this. Does it make sense? Okay. Still, I have some time, 15 minutes left in my hand. See this, as I told you, if this gap is not traded, there is a high probability this market will fall again before clearing the buy side liquidity just to trade this gap. Now, can I take any trade over here? I can't take any kind of trade over there. No trade is valid from this institutional order flow entry deal. Nothing is valid. Only opportunity for me to enter is if the candle close this gap 100%, then I'll be able to take look for a breaker block, low, high, lower, low. High stop close, body close candle, breaker block, tap to it there. Market will go for the buy side liquidity as long as the buy side liquidity is not closed. But if the market really respect this institutional order flow entry drill, keep going higher, I have to sacrifice this trade. I can't enter over there. That is something like you have to let this go. I prefer it to trade immediately. That is best. No, we love the volatility. More tweets. That's cool, man. You're most welcome, Jamie. I'm just waiting to see if 11:30 within 11:30 if it provide me the breaker block so that I can take another trade. Oh man. By the way, guys, if there is anyone who is interested about lucid trading, please make sure you have used the code T2 Wizard. They have also a um, good offer. They have 40% discount. Okay. I prefer to go with the Lucid Flex, which is much more cheaper. Like it's cheaper, really. No activation fees, nothing. And your target is like you have to see the consistency while you are trading the eval. But when you are in live, you have no active. I mean, sorry, no consistency. If you can make $5,000 by one day, go for it. For Lucid Pro, it doesn't have any consistency while you are trading the eval. So you can just pass it by one day, just one day. It's a bit expensive. Comparing with Flex, it's a bit expensive. But I really like the Flex rather than the Pro because while you will be in the funded account, you will have a 40% consistency rules. But for Lucid Flex, well, while you will be in the funded, there is no consistency. See, this consistency is zero. Uh, this is really a good opportunity to move to the live. If you get five payout, this is very normal. Just five payout. they will transfer you to the live account. The benefit for the live is every day you will make $100. Okay, for example, you have made $50 today. They will take $10. They will give you back. Sorry, they will. It is 90 into is to 10. Okay, 90 is to 10. They will take 10%. They will give you 90% back. So, for example, like out of $100, they will take $10. They will give you back $90 every day. Okay, it's something like no waiting, nothing, 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 and it's very simple. You just need 5 payouts. You will move to the live account, and then your target to go with one or two, maximum two micro contract to build $50, $100. As long as you are just not able to gather some money. So every day you will make $100. You will get $90. You will buy more accounts from Apex or maybe Trade Day, Tradify, anything. Okay, but this is really so easy, and they have the fastest payout ever. Like within 10 minutes you will get your money in your account. If any of you are interested, please make sure you have used the code T2 Wizard. And here is the Lucid Direct. That means you don't need to pass any eval. You can simply trade the funded account. Simply it's a 40% discount. So out of 520, I think 40% is gonna cost $364, I guess, for 50K account. I don't recommend the 25K actually. I tried 25K. I got the payout from there also, but 25K is not good. Yeah, it is trading from the IOFED and going higher. I hate this thing actually. I don't like these things. I want to see this gap to be filled, then build a breaker block so that I can take the entry. Uh, okay. Are you green? Are you red? What is your account color today? Let me see actually how many of you are here. What is your account color? I am red actually, $100. And if you're break even, then just gray. Okay, so gray is actually GRAY, right? Gray. 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 I don't remember. If you are break even, just press over there, gray. Let me see how many of you are actually. By the way, guys, if any of you would love to donate something to the pin comment, there is the link. Oh man, I have 12,000 subscribers. If everyone just donate $1, I would have the solar system already, and it would give me a lot of relief because when I'm trading or I'm doing live streaming, I always think about, oh man, maybe now the load shedding is going to happen. Maybe now the load shedding is going to happen. So if you click on that link, it will deliver you over here. If whatever you want to donate, you can donate, brother, for as an appreciation. But you have to just donate it from that link to the pin comment from there. Okay, I got two votes. Both of them are actually green. My goodness. So both of you, congratulations. The only way to enter over here is to fill this gap 100% and then go higher. IOFED entry is not valid because if it was immediate, I could look for the order block to take the entry from the immediate area. But while this market leave this gap, both of this gap too far, I prefer this gap to fill 100% so that I can look for re-entry opportunity from the breaker block. I'm not interested to look for the order block to take the entry from there. That is the only opportunity for me to enter over here if I would love to really enter over there. So my portal, I'm in $100 loss. Last Friday, I had some losses actually, $448, and I have $100 loss over here. Still, it's good. I have to make maybe 1,000, yeah, $1,900 more to pass this account. I hope I'll pass it. I'm going to give you one account, Lucid Pro 50K account. Next Tuesday. Of course, the winner will be chosen from the Discord because if I start the giveaway from my YouTube, Duck Race, and there is a load shedding, that will be messed up. Now you'll say that I missed this trade. I really didn't miss this trade. I was waiting this gap to fill 100% so that I can take the entry from the breaker block. I know the market will go higher for the buy side, but I can't simply enter from the order block over here, institutional order flow, entry deal order block. I can't do that. It is only acceptable if it immediately happen. If it doesn't immediately happen, I never respect this run actually to happen from this order block. And oh, good with that. I was down more than 4K in my Apex Evals with that Trump candle, but I recovered from it and in the green by $500 now. Simply close the close the chart, Sujivan. This is the best thing, man, you will ever done in your life. Just simply close the chart. Okay. If I want to learn from your YouTube channel, then firstly I should start watching your members only streams, or should I start from somewhere else? Go to the study folder. There is a folder named study. Inside that folder, you will see some videos. Watch them accordingly. Just watch them, man. You don't need anything else. And then try to join our live as well. I hope it will help you a bit. Except this type of scenario where Trump is going to destroy us. Otherwise, you will learn something over there. That small scalping idea, that buying opportunity, this buying opportunity, everything. And the breaker block, everything is over there, brother, inside that study folder. Just try to come here sometimes in the live, because I'm not building any other live, video. I was thinking about that, but this is just waste of time, man. So I stopped that idea. I'm just doing only live as long as I'm not going to fade up 100%. And I'll just doing this live over here. I'm not asking for any money. So if you are interested about the membership, there's some live actually. That's gonna be appreciation only. Okay, you don't need to learn actually by joining the membership. You don't need to do that, brother. I'm still waiting to see if it really built the breaker block for me. If the breaker block has been created, I'm able to enter again in this market from the breaker block. The only thing is inside the launch hour, it doesn't work. But now these days, launch hour is also good. Is there any scalping idea? No scalping idea. Simply no scalping idea. Like there was this small scalping idea. You guys know that, right? That was the 50% range. That was the breakaway gap to build the order block, everything. But here there is no scalping idea. No fall is confirmed. Here the fall is confirmed until the entry gap 50%, but here no fall is confirmed. It doesn't need to fall as long as like this last gap is not actually working today. Absolutely not working at all. But still no sell is valid. Uh, but again, as I can see, you are my member, brother. Just watch Vikash, watch that live streaming inside the members only. You will get a lot of information from there, brother. More importantly, the reaction reversal, which where I actually call it like small scalping. It's called the reaction actually. So you'll learn all of these things from there. Shiru, do you have a video about how to recognize a good parabolic gap, bad parabolic gap? Did I ever talk about that? I usually talk about the farewell gap inside the live streaming most of the time. I don't remember actually. Do I have any video like that? I don't remember, brother, to be honest. Let me see how many of your green actually. Okay, red is 14%, gray is 29%. That means break even. Those people who are in break even, if you tried some and then loss, profit, or break even, stop doing that. Tomorrow is CPI, man. Highly important. This information is too important. Tomorrow we have the CPI. Today's market is gonna be disaster. So in this type of disaster market, you just let it go. You should let it go. Okay, that is the best thing you should do. If you're green, simply close the chart. Don't touch that market again. Okay. And if you're red, for example, you tried one or two trade, it's a red. Still, it's not a huge loss, like maybe 100, 200, $300 loss. You can try one more time with the best setup. If you find your favorite setup, you can try that. Otherwise, it's always better to wait for the CPI to release, then go for the trade. Man, it is. I'm not in rush. It should not be in rush. Okay, so if you think like every single day should be green, okay, if you think like that way, man, you still are a noob. You are just a beginner. You have to walk away while you have some losses over there. So like 1 to 3 days green, I'm just away 500, $400, and I took a loss over there. That was huge actually. Unfortunately, the Trump destroyed me like last Friday as well. My whole buying idea worked so beautifully, but Trump destroyed me already. So unfortunately, 10:32, if you guys remember. So I got red over here. So I got some red over here. I'm going to lock my account again. With these losses over here, I'll come here. It is a red. I'll lock over there again. Red, lock over there again. Then green, then green, then green. I passed to the account. But if I try to mitigate all of my losses with the lowest, every single trade I have taken over here, okay, except this trade over here. This trade was bit confusing for me. To be honest, I was not 100% sure this is going to work or not. Like I put my stop loss just below this breakaway gap. That was some trade I was not confident enough. And then when I saw this order block and I took the order block entry, from that order block entry, every single trade I took was an high probable trade to me. Every single trade. I was never been confused. Maybe it is going to work, maybe it is not going to work. Now it is not acceptable. Again, Trump did damaged me. This buy has given me more than enough to be profitable. I was greedy. I was just interested to take the partial to this rejection block over here. That this line over here. I wanted to take the partial over here. So I didn't take the partial. Instead of that, I added more by trailing the stop loss to the break even. Then I took this sell, a small scalping until the 50%. I was so confident. I was not sure that it will tap to this breakaway gap or not. But the logic is dealing range high, dealing range low. This is the 50%. This is the 618 level. It can simply fall for 50% or 618 level. If it do come here, I know that I'll get the order block. So I got that scalp. Good. I got that buy from this order block. Good. Then I wanted to take this one, but I missed the trade. I was over here in front of all of you guys. So you know that what I was saying here, everything just match it. I told bullish gap will be created. You should be enter on the trade already. You can't wait for this gap to be traded because it's not going to give you that opportunity. Never ever going to give you that opportunity. Why did it came to this rejection block? Came here one time, two time, rejected from there. I'm just still waiting to see if it can fill this gap 100% so that I can get the breaker block. This is the idea for me right now over here. If it doesn't, I'm not going to take any trade over there. I have still this buy side left over here, buy side left over there. Around that is so beautiful buy side liquidities, so they need to be taken. This is okay. So if you're overconfident and this is your familiar setup, okay, that is your favorite setup, then try one more time. Otherwise, just don't take the trade. Don't touch the market. Let it go. Tomorrow is CPI. For example, I got the breaker block. Okay, this candle didn't reverse from there. Instead of that, it reversed from there, and there is a breaker block. Man, I am not going to give a shit about whatever you say, or what trading or whatever it is. I'm going to go for that breaker block because in my life I've seen it never been failed. This entry from this water block is low probability. If it would happen here immediately, I could go for the buy from that water block. But here it's low probability. There is a high probable entry opportunity breaker block. But I can see that this water block is holding the market. Market is respecting that. And it's good. Let this go, man. Just let this go. So if you are green, close the trade, close the chart, lock you out. Guys, please don't hack me, okay? I don't know how, but you guys just hacked my Lucid account, okay? Last time someone just reset my password. I got the mail and immediately I complain and then I have to reset my password again. So please don't hack something, okay? I'm not a familiar one, okay? I'm not a popular like other people. Wait. Like Tania or other people, like Patrick. I'm a very small guy with 12K subscriber with a very small amount of people over here. So please don't hack my accounts. It's a request. You guys keep trying my trading view. I don't know why. There's nothing. So this is the manual lockout. Thank you so much, guys, for showing me this. I'm going to yes lock account. Okay, yeah. Uh, I think it's been locked. I guess. Let me check actually. If I click on sell, yeah, it's locked. So I'm in loss, $100 loss. Okay. By the way, the previous account, it was a load shedding. I I was not able to connect through my phone as well by my phone network. There was a limit order when I enter. I mean, when the electricity is back, my limit order entered, and I was a huge drawdown. Like I had $1,300 drawdown, and after getting 1,300 drawdown, it's nearly impossible to mitigate all of the losses and go back to the break even. So I just gamble and I blow that account. It was not my fault. It was the electricity problem. So I just tried it with highest leverage. If I can mitigate that unfortunate loss, I was not able. But otherwise, as long as it is under control, it should lock you down. Okay. So please do that. Gray is 29% out of 14 people. Red is 7%. 64% people are green. Congratulations, guys. I also would be green actually if I were not greedy today. Like every single entry has given me 35 plus handle, but I was a bit greedy today. I don't know. Sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you'll be greedy. It's good. It's a part of this game. Brother, the Lucid reset is a general reset for all account holders. They're being cautious after the Tradify hack. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. So it was general reset. Okay. That's a good information, Sujivan. Thank you so much because I got that message that my password has been reset. So I thought that someone tried it. That's a good thing. We all have been hacked. Hey, don't you? How are you, brother? Are you green or red today, man? By the way, guys, I really don't know how many subscribers do I have. I would love to check it one time. This is my favorite song, and this one also. Wow, 12,100 subscriber. When I got 100, I stopped checking the subscriber as well. I'm like totally fed up. But thank you so much, guys, for this subscriber. Okay, like this is really awesome. 12,100 subscribers is really good. However, guys, I'm watching it still. I'm not closing my stream just because to see if it really would love to build some sort of breaker block. So now it's an scalping idea actually from this gap to until this gap. Very small scalping idea. I'm not taking it because I'm already manually locked me down. But this is a very small scalping idea from there to there. Oh. If there is a gap, don't you? Are you green? Are you red, brother? A very small scalping idea. This is an high probable scalping idea. Except if it is not going to give me the entry. Okay, if it doesn't give me the entry, that's a bad luck. So from here, stop loss just above the candle. I mean, if it works, good. If it doesn't work, you'll just get stopped out over there. Target is this unfilled gap. More importantly, the low of this unfilled gap. It has a high probability to fill this gap 100%. So kind of that type of area. Okay. Scalping means you have to go like 1:1, something like that. And your stop loss has to be absolutely very tight and you are going against your bias. So you're thinking this market will go higher, but you are going to take a sell because there is a PDRA that needs to be traded. This is that PDRA I'm expecting to be traded. Uh, this gap to fill 100%. So where it should do that, it come here. I mean, failed to go for this extreme high that has been built the obvious liquidity. So come here to this rejection block, then fall, gave me a market structure shift, fair value gap, trade this fair value gap, going to go for this gap to fill 100%. Doesn't need to do that, but that is an idea to fill that gap 100%. And if it fill it, then I'll look for the breaker block buy again. Here I'm not going to put it there. I'm not going to put it there. I'm not going to put it here. Not nowhere. I'll just put it maybe above this gap. Okay, just above this gap, which is the first presented gap. It is good to put it above this gap, but more importantly, just above this candle, just above this candle. But just for the sake of the first presented gap, you have to respect him a bit. You have to give him some respect. So that's why you can just cover the high of this first presented gap from there. I'm just waiting for the breaker block to see if it works inside the lunch hour or not. This gap doesn't have any other value. Okay, some of you are seeing this is holding, right? It is holding. No, it has done its job over here. See this area? It has done its job. So what else do you see over here? This low and that low. What are they? Relatively equal lows. So that is your sell side liquidity. That is your sell side liquidity. This is called reaction. And again, those people who are actually in my member, they will get the more idea about the reaction versus reversal. For example, I'm in this trade and suddenly there is an 160 handle bull candle. Am I going to regret? Of course not. I know that that candle has been created by Trump's tweet. So in this type of scenario, I will have nothing to do. I have to just accept that loss. It will close below this candle. It will work as a bear order block. Not for so long, just for to close this gap. Just to close this gap. So when it will close below this candle, my stop loss will be moved from there to above this candle. Something like that. When I'm doing this type of scalping. I want to show you the 15-minute chart as well. This is the 15-minute chart. What do you see over here? Bullshit. Even though it is reacting from this from the top of this daily bullish fair value gap, but this gap which I want to see unfilled is a very logical gap to fill 100% now, because if it wouldn't do that, if it was not really interested to fill this gap 100%, it wouldn't came here, trade the order block, it wouldn't reverse again. It would simply go higher, take this buy side liquidity. That's why it's called the small scalping idea or the reaction. This is the reaction from this bear 22 YT model. So sometimes you'll see the bear model doesn't fall a lot because you missed this logic over here. Now watch it, okay? So the body will close below this line. Stop loss should be safe over here, like plus some handle actually above this line. See here. Now it will work as a very beautiful order block to fill this gap 100%. By the way, this order block doesn't need to be traded. That is not something like it has to be. But if you trade it, that's good. You will be able to add more over there. In other word, this two line, okay, over here, these two line is later, okay, later. If if the market fail to take this low over here, that low, if the market by any chance fail to take this low over here, this is going to work as a reclaimed inversion fair value gap. Blue one account, green one account. So what type of option should I add over here? What type of option should I add over here? I'm thinking about that, brother. Come on, man. You have to fill this gap 100%. Don't prove me wrong. However, it doesn't need to fill this gap 100%. Again, I am expecting this should be filled 100%. But so, like, to the top of this gap, close the trade is also acceptable. And it's a very small scalping again, like 30 handle, something like that. That is good. Okay. But if it close it 100%, I'll be able to look for a breaker block again. Again, it doesn't need to fill it 100% again. I'm saying that. But if it fill it 100%, of course, you have to take a partial to the top of this gap if you have an opportunity, or simply close the trade over here, whatever you want to do. But if it close it, I'll look for an breaker block like low, high, lower low. If the body close above this candle, this is going to be my best breaker block. In my life, I've never seen this to be failed as a breaker block. Or maybe market will do this type of things. It will build another breaker block and then trade this breaker block, go for the buy side liquidity. Small scalping. It's not something like I'm going to hold this trade 100%. No, it has closed it 100%. I'm already out of this scalping. This scalping has no other value. It has already done its job. Now, if it keep falling, for example, if it keep falling, maybe this bias is bearish and take this low over here. It means that I'm not going to get any breaker block opportunity over here. I'm simply good with that. This is a very small scalping idea. This market will always give you an opportunity, but point is how you are going to catch it, how you are going to deal with this trump, how you are going to deal with your stop loss, I mean, sorry, your maximum loss. Don't blow the account simply blindly. However, guys, I'm going to close the stream right now, but remember, if this low is not taken, I'm going to say this to you, tomorrow I'll be back here, inshallah, if I'm not dead. If this low is not taken, anytime you will see this type of scenario, low, lower low, in between two lower low, there is a highest up close body close candle. You will simply, and body has closed above that candle, you have to take the buy from that candle for the buy side liquidity. If there is a bear gap, first bear gap, okay, for example, in this leg you have two bear gap, two minus gap, okay, so something like this, one gap, two gap, something like that. Upper gap, the upper gap, for example, you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't care how many bear gap do you have over there. Whatever gap, how many, whatever gap you have, I don't care about that. But the highest gap should be covered by your stop loss. The best case of scenario, the candle is going to build that bear gap, cover that low of that candle. That is the best case of scenario. Okay. And you will look for the buy side liquidity, market left over here, buy side here, buy side here. In the meantime, all you have to do, you have to go for a partial around 1 is to 1, wherever the 1 is to 1 is, and then put your stop loss to the break even. There is another cool idea to take an entry, even if you miss the trade from the breaker block. That gap, I never talk about that. Maybe one day I'll talk about that gap as well. Just remember these things, okay? Otherwise, so far I'm seeing this is the breaker block. So far, okay? As long as it's not going to build another swing high and swing low, going to take that swing low. So if it doesn't build it, so far this is my breaker block. Here, closed above this candle, buy here. Stop loss is going to cover any type of bear gap I have over here. That bear gap has to cover that stop loss. And this is the breaker block. You can just observe it, okay, if you want. Thank you so much, guys, for being over here. See you tomorrow, God willing. Until the next time, I think cheers. If yeah, I think it's good. I'm not short NQ entry point, expecting a mean reversion trade to the downside. Hey Rumo, congratulations, brother, for your boom, brother. Can you wait for the bounce to go long? And I'm so hungry. I didn't eat anything. This gap has no value if this low is taken. So if this low has already been taken, this gap doesn't have any value. But I'm so hungry. Okay, I didn't eat anything. I have eaten last night. Okay, I have taken my dinner. Actually, the whole day I didn't eat anything. I'm like so hungry. Unfortunately, brother. You only trade the 22 YT model, right? No, I don't only trade the 22 YT model. I trade water block, breaker block, inverse gap, uh 22 model. I only don't trade the MMXM. That is the only thing I don't know how to trade. Except that I trade most of them. Hey Phoenix, you are back with your profile picture, by the way, brother. I love that profile picture. Thank you so much, guys, for today's stream, and I hope you have learned a lot over here. And I just locked out manually, so that's why I didn't scalp here. Otherwise, that was a beautiful scalping for a very small. And today, I don't know why, but I was really so greedy today. Every single time it has given me the partial opportunity, I denied to take it. Instead of that, I keep holding the trade, and unfortunately, that actually turned into break even of the losing trade, except the last few trades. So after the Trump did the damage, I was absolutely good with every single explanation. The price action was really so good over there. So thank you so much, guys. Until the next time, cheers.